okay? So then we're back over to the chest. Popping up some more weight. So, once again, while you're putting the weight on, you know, if I wasn't on camera here, I'd be concentrating a little bit more on breathing. Obviously, it's a little odd today as I'm talking to you guys at home, but still in the back of my head. Oxygen. It's all about getting oxygen. Okay. So now as the weight goes up, here's what I find is as the weight goes up, you start increasing the intensity of your focus. So as that weight goes up, now I'm on to my third set here on this exercise. I'm getting deeper into the workout. Now I'm really mentally starting to concentrate. So we can look at some of our mental concentration tools that we have on the site. Will help you get inside your head and focus. Okay? So that's really important.
Whereas weight has a very explosive rep.
And then right back. So what's interesting is, as the weight pops up, now I'm going to show you another variation of this exercise that a lot of people like to use. You can play around with it, mix it up every now and then. Do the same thing, bent over. Okay, so back up.
On this one, just be careful that your upper body doesn't rock too much, so that your shoulders do the work. Very effective.
Perfect. Now normally, I would have probably bumped that weight up just a little bit as the reps were going down. But today, because we're doing this for illustration purposes, we're going to... Another factor in how fast you do your sets is the faster you go, the less weight that you need. So as you're moving through the workout fast, how heavy you're going decreases, and actually it makes it so your workout is even safer. So it's so funny. I remember when I first went and saw some professional bodybuilders training a number of years ago, and one of the things that struck me was Vince Taylor at the time. This guy had massive arms. I mean, he had arms that were really huge, and he was in the gym curling 65 pounds. And I was so blown away. How could this guy with 20 plus inch arms be curling 60 pounds? But then when you actually watched him milk that rep, I mean, he was getting more out of 60 pounds than most people could get out of 100 pounds doing 10 times as much work. So, the workouts are as much mental as they are physical.
Yeah, especially for bodybuilding.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think strength training and powerlifting, all those things, just a different world. And if people are confused, you're not going to get the maximum results. You got to be clear what your goals are. Is your goal building maximum muscle? And if so, just forget about the ego and weights. So this is a weights high rep set again, which I find really blows the muscle out big time.
Yeah, and one of the things you want to be concentrating on when you're doing these exercises is explosive on the way up, controlled. So it's almost like a piston action, okay? Because it's the old equation. The faster you move a weight through space is the more power you generate. So it's force over distance over time. That's what gets the explosive rate. Because to move a weight faster, you have to recruit more muscle fibers.
Exactly.
So even if the weight's moving fast at the first and slows down at the end, it's okay because it's the intention behind the exercise. How fast are you actually moving the weight through space, or trying to? So your fibers might be firing very fast, even if the weight's only moving slowly. So back at it, one last set on this one. Once again, really focus, take a second to set your exercise, and then go for it. Good. Our last left, we can really start to feel that one. So we're going to take a break, get back to the other sets, and we'll see you in just a minute. what is the purpose of the Mastery Program? And that's really simple. That's to build as much muscle in a symmetrical format as fast as you can. The whole point is I took a long, drawn-out route. You know, it was the bullet court. It was the land of confusion. It was going from point A to point B, sometimes taking step backwards instead of forwards. And I'm sure you who are watching this can relate to that. How many of you have gone out there and tried a routine and got a little bit of results, and then you tried another routine and it didn't work, and then you followed something else and you were kind of jumping around and getting little tidbits? What I did is I condensed all the golden nuggets into one systemized format that teaches you when to train, when to switch, how much to train, what to eat, what supplements are worthwhile, what's a waste of time, and compress it into one complete component so that you can get going. So the purpose is taking the time that I took, maybe 20 years to reach this point in the sport, and condensing it in just to a few years for yourself. Alright, so we took a minute to set up our weights and everything. We got the bar ready to go and our dumbbells ready to go. So here, I'm going to show you dumbbell flies, and this is where most people are using everything but their pecs. So we're going to do them with our feet up on the bench, concentrating on getting our back nice and flat. So here's how it goes. Watch this. Hop up, feet are up. Okay, then I make sure that my back is nice and pinned against the bench. Over the eyes for benches and flies. I owe that to the legendary trainer Scott Abel, who drilled that into my head with his trainer. Thanks, Scott. And so here we go.
Notice how weight is going to this side. A lot of people will have their arms down here. I think that really shortchanges the result. So notice how wide and how high he's going.
One of the chin is tucked right in here like this, and the dumbbells are traveling in a plane at the eye level, okay? Even when it's down here, my hands are up over top of my shoulders. That's working the chest. Chest was one of those body parts that I had a lot of challenges with, just with my physical structure and my innervation patterns. And so it's something I had to work really, really hard to even get a tiny bit of development. So that was one of my genetic weaknesses. And adding these components, and if you already have the ability to build a good chest, these kind of techniques are just going to blow you up to the next level. So right over here to upright rows, which is the second exercise in our sequence. Lots of times I'll have this in a power rack. Today, it's just like this.
The first thing is he's really keeping the bar close to his body. Very important. He's almost grazing his body, and elbows are going up.
Good. One of the things I also have challenges with is when I'm training. Sometimes I forget how many reps I did. So if the goal is, let's say 10, and I think I'm at 9 or I think I'm at 10, I do one more. Better to err on the side of one more than one less.
You know, and the reason I think that that happens is you're just so focused on the move.
Totally.
You know,
I think it's the best thing when you totally forget how many reps you're doing.
yeah.
If you're forgetting where you are in the rep range, that's perfect. Because that means you're focused on what you're doing. You're in the present. I'm going to grab some more a little bit heavier dumbbells on this side. Over to the rack. Back down. And same process every time. So figure out the sequence that works for you. So for me, it's back down, feet up, hands over the eyes for benches and fly, and I think big arc, and then squeeze at the top. Those are the little keywords that I use throughout the exercise every time. weights. We always put our weights away. We're going to use these ones in a minute, so you can keep those here. And then right back. A couple deep breaths.